The magical world of Merlin and Asena. A long, long time ago, there lived a wizard in a cave. His name was Merlin. His morning routine started like this. He wakes up, puts on his coat, and goes on his morning walk in the forest searching for ingredients. He needs this for a special potion that he has never tried making. Normally he goes back to his cave to try his herbs, but this time he decided to do something else. This time he gave them as a present to the forest fairies, because their herbs for the tea were empty. They gave him tea and the fairy cake for his kindness.
At the same time, Asena was hunting in the mountains for her breakfast. When she was hunting, something strange happened. She saw something that she shouldn't have found, Merlin's cave. She was too curious to not enter the cave. While she was exploring the cave, she saw a super big scary spider. Then Merlin came back. When Merlin returns to the cave, he comes face to face with a wolf woman called Asena. Confronted by a large and terrifying spider, the spider then attacks her. Seeing this, Merlin uses his magical power to throw the spider against the wall, freeing her from beneath. The spider quickly recovers and longs to attack Merlin. At that moment, the powerful Asena leaps onto the spider and tears out one of its eyes with her claws. As the spider writhes in pain, Merlin flips it over and Asena claws at its belly. The spider dies with agonizing screams. Asena and Merlin discover a chest inside the spider's heart. They take the chest and opening it, find a map, precious jewels, and a key-shaped necklace. After that, they decided to open the map and see what was inside. They saw a symbol of a spider and some gibberish in another language that no one had ever heard from. But Merlin has a special bond with the most smartest bird of the whole town, so he whistled 3 times to call him. Merlin and Asena asked the bird kindly if he would be able to translate this language. The bird said it would be hard, but that he would do his best. A few minutes later, the bird had translated the map. That's when they understood the meaning. They needed the spider so they could go to the other world. But first, they needed to save him, and for that he needed a special flower. It's called Eldoria. But for that they needed to go to the highest mountains across a waterfall. But it wouldn't be that easy to go there, because in the way there's a lot of thorns and Merlin doesn't want to rip his beautiful coat.
After gathering the information, they began making notes on the map, and once they had gathered enough supplies, they were ready to leave. Before they left, they decided to thank the bird, and in exchange for his kindness, the bird asked for Merlin's coat to keep his nest warm and said, "I have translated everything on the map. Now it's your turn to make an offering, Merlin. I want your coat." Merlin was very upset by this, but there was something Merlin didn't know. It was safer to entrust his coat to the bird than to waste time protecting it. Meanwhile, Asena was busy preparing hunting gear in case their food ran out and they had to go hunting. Later, when Merlin told Asena about the conversation he had with the bird, Asena told Merlin that she needed to find flint, because that was the only thing they could use to stay warm. While Asena prepared the tools, Merlin went into the forest to gather flint.
Asena has prepared the tools that they needed to find the special flower, and Merlin found in the woods flint so he isn't cold on the way. Once all this is done, they leave together in good spirits. On their way, they passed by the fairies. The fairies invited Merlin and Asena to drink some tea. The fairies saw that Merlin was very cold and made him a new coat with flowers and love. They kept the warmth of the fairies with them so they can go further on their journey. Throughout their journey, they endured heavy rain, thunder, and snow because they were already high up in the mountains. On the top of the mountain, there was suddenly a spot with a lot of sunshine. The spot sparkled and was full of flowers, and butterflies were flying everywhere. And then they saw it, the most beautiful flower they had ever seen, Eldoria, the flower of life. They took one petal of a flower and went back home safely, so they can save the life of the spider.
They arrive at the cave and starts to prepare it for the ritual. Asena goes to the fairies to get some white say and the finest Himalayan salt they have. While Asena is with the fairies, Merlin starts to make a special potion. Asena returns with the fairies and starts making a soft cushion with feathers to lay the spider on. Then she lays the spider down on the cushion and to make the salt circle around her for protection. Merlin is almost finished with his potion. The only thing he still needs to do is drop the petal in the cauldron. Poof! A lot of glitters fill the room when he drops the petal. That's when he knows that his potion is finished. Asena starts lighting the candles and burning the sage to calm the spider when he awakes. Now they are ready to start the ritual.
Merlin takes his old spellbook and searches for the spell to wake up the spider. The fairies and Asena circle around the spider and Asena and call for the energy of Mother Nature. The energy starts spinning around the spider and Merlin. The weather changes constantly and the candles start flickering. Merlin drops the potion on the spider. That's when all the energy disappeared. It seemed like nothing has happened. Merlin is very disappointed because normally all of his spells work like the best. The fairies start crying and Asena tries to calm them. They go all sit next to the spider and start to do their farewells and hug the spider. One of the fairies cries so hard and tears start to roll down her cheeks on the spider.
That's when something special happened. All energy returns, the room starts shining and flowers start blooming. The spider comes back to life. She's very scared of Merlin and Asena. She tries to run away, but the fairies and the sage calm her. She trusts the fairies and stays in the cave.
Now they explain that they have found a special map in the spider. The spider turns out to be very kind and wise. The spider follows her heart and they start to follow the map to the other world. They find a suspicious looking puddle. Asena was too hot and jumped in. They wait a few minutes and see that she doesn't return. They started to worry and decided to take a vine from the willow tree above the puddle and starts to let the vine down in the puddle. They feel that something starts pulling the vine and assume it's Asena. They pull it back up and the ladder is knotted to the rope. It says, "Hi, lovely friends of mine, Asena here. It's so magical here, you should come down the puddle. It's the gateway to the other world."
They jump down into the puddle and arrive into the other world. It's so perfect. In this world, birds can swim and fish can fly. The sky shines like diamonds and the grass is as soft as cotton. It's a place where all your hopes and dreams come true. Everyone is so excited and relieved that they can finally live in peace forever, so they decide to stay in this world and live happily ever after.